welcome to story time. This morning we are going to talk all about teddy bears. So if you want to take a few minutes and go get a teddy bear to sit with and snuggle with during this story time, you can pause your video and quick go get one. And if you don't have a teddy bear but you have another stuffy that you really like to snuggle with, go ahead and go get it. Okay, do you have your teddy or your stuffy? Good, let's read our first book. Our first book is Brown Bear, What Do You See? And if you know the words to this one, you can say it along with me. Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. Yellow duck, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me. Blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me. Green frog, what do you see? I see a purple cat looking at me. Purple cat, what do you see? I see a white dog looking at me. White dog, what do you see? I see a black sheep looking at me. Black sheep, what do you see? I see a goldfish looking at me. Goldfish, what do you see? I see a teacher looking at me. Teacher, what do you see? I see children looking at me. Children, what do you see? We see a brown bear, a red bird, a yellow duck, a blue horse, a green frog, a purple cat, a white dog, a black sheep, a goldfish, and a teacher looking at us. That's what we see. All right, so Brown Bear has the same first letter starting each word. So brown and bear start with the same first letter. Do you know what letter that is? I wrote it up here for you. It's B. You're right. So we have a capital B and a lowercase b there. And I wrote the word bear right here. And what letter does bear start with? You're right. It's B. Can you make the sound that B makes? Ba, ba, ba. Good job. Clap for yourself. Good job. All right. Our next story is about a special little bear named Corduroy. And this book is written by Don Freeman. Do you know where the front of the book is? Is this the front? No, that's the back. Do we hold the book like this? No, that's silly. We couldn't read it then. So you find the front. And then you see where the title is. And then you open it and read your story. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in a toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button to one of his shoulder straps." Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. "I didn't know I had lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight, I'll go see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. Suddenly, he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator, and up he went. Could this be a mountain, he wondered. I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was the most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. This must be a palace, Corduroy gasped. I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace. He wandered around, admiring the furniture. This must be a bed, he said. I've always wanted to sleep in a bed. And up he crawled into a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. Why, here's my button, he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a large crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. Now, who in the world did that? He exclaimed. Somebody must be hiding here. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. Hello, he said. How did you get upstairs? The watchman tucked Corduroy in his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. I'm Lisa, she said, and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home. Shall I put him in a box for you? The saleslady asked. Oh, no, thank you, Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed there stood a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. This must be home, he said. I know, I've always wanted a home. Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. I like you the way you are, she said, but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened. You must be a friend, said Corduroy. I've always wanted a friend. Me too, said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. And if you check out this book from the library, there are letters and notes tucked away in the back in some secret pockets. So you can explore those on your own when you check the book out. So, do you know how to draw a circle? Can you make it in the air and go around like this, around and around? Can you make some circles? Did you know you can draw a bear making circles? I'll show you, and you can draw it in the air and maybe practice on some paper later. So you can make a head, which is a circle. You can make a body, which is a circle. And ears. How many ears do bears have? 2, you're right. So let's put 2 circle ears on the bear. And how many eyes does a bear have? You're right, 2. So let's put 2 eyes. Maybe we'll color them in. And a bear has how many noses? 1, you're right. So let's put 1 nose and a smiley face on the teddy bear. And then you could put circles for paws on your bear. And you could decorate it any way you want. And that's just a very easy way to draw a teddy bear with circles. So you give it a try with your drawing tools at home. Our next story is going on a bear hunt. And if you want to pat the rhythm on your legs or clap it with your hands when we sing or when we read the story, go right ahead. So, we're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Oh, grass, long wavy grass. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Swishy swashy, swishy swashy, swishy swashy. We're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Oh no, a river, a deep, cold river. Can't go over it, can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Splash, 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 splash. We're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Oh no, mud, thick, oozy mud. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Squelch, squirch, squelch, squirch, squelch, squirch. We're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Oh no, a forest, a big, dark forest. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Stumble trip, stumble trip, stumble trip. We're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Oh no, a snowstorm, a swirly, whirly snowstorm. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Whoo, 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 whoo. We're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Oh no, a cave, a narrow, gloomy cave. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. What's that? One shiny, wet nose, 2 big furry ears, 2 big googly eyes. It's a bear! Quick, back through the cave, tiptoe, 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 back through the snowstorm, whoo, 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 whoo. Back through the forest, stumble trip, stumble trip, stumble trip. Back through the mud, squitch, squelch, squelch, squirch. Back through the river, splash, 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 splash. Back through the grass, swishy, swashy, swishy, swashy. Get to our front door. Open the door. Up the stairs. Oh no, we forgot to shut the door. Back downstairs. Shut the door. Back upstairs. Into the bedroom. Into bed. Under the covers. We're not going on a bear hunt again. The end. They made it back home safe, didn't they? Have you ever lost your teddy bear? Sometimes that can be very sad. This story is about a little boy and a bear, and they both lose their teddies. This one's title is Where's My Teddy? See if you can hear the rhyming words in this story. Eddie's off to find his teddy. Eddie's teddy's name is Freddie. He lost him in the woods somewhere. It's dark and horrible in there. Help, said Eddie. I'm scared already. I want my bed. I want my teddy. He tiptoed on until something made him stop quite still. Look out, he thought. There's something there. What's that? A giant teddy bear. Is it Freddie? Said Eddie. What a surprise. How did you get to be this size? You're too big to huddle and cuddle, he said, and I'll never fit both of us into my bed. Then out of the darkness, clearer and clearer, the sound of sobbing came nearer and nearer. Soon the whole woods could hear the voice bawl, How did you get to be so tiny and small? You're too small to huddle and cuddle, it said, and you'll only get lost in my giant-sized bed. It was a gigantic bear and a tiny teddy stomping toward the giant Teddy and Eddie. My Ted, gasped the bear. A bear, screamed Eddie. A boy, yelled the bear. My Teddy, cried Eddie. Then they ran and they ran through the dark woods back to their homes as fast as they can. All the way back to their snuggly beds where they huddled and cuddled their own little Teds. Well, isn't that nice? They both found their own teddy bears at the end of the story. So we've got one more book for today. But before I read it, I just want to remind you that all the youth library programs for the month of September and October are either digital programs or take-home kits. So check the library's website for up-to-date information on if it's digital or a take-home kit. Our last story is called Bear Came Along. Once there was a river that flowed night and day, but it didn't know it was a river until Bear came along. Bear was just being curious. When he realized what the river could do, but he didn't know he was on an adventure until Froggy hopped on. Froggy was a lonely frog who was looking for a friend, but she didn't know how many she had until the turtles showed up. The turtles tried to warn them about the things that could go wrong, but they didn't know how to enjoy the ride. Until Beaver climbed aboard. Beaver was born to captain. He knew exactly where to go, but he didn't know about the detours until the raccoons dropped in. The raccoons were so excited about the twists and turns ahead, but they didn't know they had to be careful until they crashed into Duck. Duck was so content being right where she was, but Duck didn't know there was a world to see. Until, what do you think's going to happen? Oh no, what's coming up? What do you think? Bear held on to Froggy. Froggy held on to the turtles. Turtles held on to Beaver. Beaver held on to raccoons, and raccoons held on to Duck. Oh, what a ride! That's a big splash. So many different animals living their separate lives, but they didn't know they were in it together until the river came along. And that is the end of our story time today. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next week. Bye.